Hi everybody, welcome to a brand new week here in Thailand on TNT as we bring you all the latest news from Thailand and a few stories from the region. A lot of the stories today framed in this twilight zone between the end of the last government and the start of the new one following the May 14 election. And it's also been, well, certainly here on the southern island of Phuket, a very wet weekend indeed. Other parts of the country, fine, hot and dry. We've also got this typhoon lurking somewhere in the South China Sea. We're not going to be reporting on that today because so far it hasn't had a lot of effect on Thai weather, but we'll check on that in coming days if it starts to have some sort of effect. All right, let's get started with today's news. And an invitation, if you've got a moment, to subscribe to the channel. We've had some great viewing figures over the past week. We would like to continue that on. Tell your friends about it. We do our best to try and keep you up to date with all the news here in Thailand. And we start with a story from Thai PBS World. Diesel price will rise 5 baht a litre on July the 21st if the tax cut is not extended. Well, so many things get transported in trucks run with diesel engines that it would have a significant effect on the cost of, well, just about everything from food to your deliveries of things you buy on Lazada. The story says the price of diesel will be increased by 5 baht a litre from July the 21st if the caretaker government of PM Prayut Chan-o-cha or the new government, which is yet to be formed, doesn't extend the excise tax cut introduced on February the 18th last year. And the Excise Department Director General warns that since diesel fuel represents a major production cost for industry, a sudden price increase of 5 baht a litre would hamper economic recovery and place a heavy burden on consumers, as he suggested that the excise tax cut could be further extended. And as a way of a bit of background, the government first introduced the excise tax cut by 3 baht a litre for 3 months until May the 20th last year, when the tax cut was increased to 5 baht a litre between May the 21st and July the 20th. That's been extended 5 times to date, and the total excise tax reduction will have cost the state a total loss of 158 billion baht. So we've all been paying for it indirectly, so we'll just have to wait and see. We've got, 6 or 7 weeks before that changes back to the normal diesel price. 5 baht a litre would be quite a slug. Now, another one of these twilight zone problems as the coalition tries to form a new government. BKK Post reporting that pressure builds on Pattaya. Pattaya came second as far as the number of MPs in the lower house is concerned following the last election, and they're of course a prime mover in putting this new coalition together. A group of Pattaya supporters is calling for the party to break away from the Move Forward party over an internal rift regarding the House Speaker post. So obviously a few key people really want this top job, and these two leading coalition partners are just going to have to sort it out. The group, however, still supports Pattaya's promise to vote for Move Forward Party leader Peter as the next PM and allow the Move Forward Party to lead the formation of a new coalition. It also calls on Pattaya to support the Move Forward Party-led attempt to rewrite the constitution for the people. Well, getting a new constitution passed, which would involve elected senators and codifying the powers of the head of state, would be a major change to Thailand, and I think something that they probably don't want to be talking about too openly at this stage, whilst they're still seeking support from the Senate. Meanwhile, the whistleblower Chuit Kamondwisit, he's certainly been a bit quiet over the past few weeks, has posted on his Facebook page about what he describes as a new secret deal without the Move Forward Party. According to Mr. Chuit, secret negotiations have been conducted to make the Move Forward Party an opposition party when it fails to gather more than half of the House seats required to form a government. So we're still waiting for this vote of the two houses, where they'll have the Senate and the lower house MPs voting. Move Forward Party needing, I think at the moment, about 54 votes from the 250 senators to form a government. And Chewett says that Thai, Pumjai Thai, Palang Pracharat, who were the leaders of the past coalition, the Democrats and the Chat Thai Patana Party, will then form a coalition instead under a secret deal called Come Home, a reference to the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who's waiting in Singapore. Well, getting Thaksin back home, obviously, is important to the Thai Party, the sort of de facto leader, the founder, the Julius Caesar of the Thai Party. But getting Pumjai Thai and Palang Pracharat, who were mentioned in this apparent coalition, getting them to agree to allow Thaksin to come back would, I think, be a very long straw indeed. Mr. Chewett refused to name those engaged in the alleged negotiations. I think I smell something rotten, like fake democracy. So, of course, people are going to be talking about trying to cobble together a coalition. We now know the mathematics of the lower house, the number of MPs, and there are many different combinations you can put together to try and make a coalition. But the one at the moment, the 8 parties, have got the strongest chance at the moment. We'll just have to wait to see how those politics ride out. But in the meantime, still plenty of speculation. But ThaiPBSWorld.com is reporting that coalition parties will meet to resolve the House speakership issue tomorrow. And negotiating teams of the 8 coalition parties are scheduled to meet tomorrow at the head office of the Pracharat Party to resolve the tussle between the Thai and Move Forward parties over the House speakership. And the Move Forward Party Secretary-General said on Saturday that he believes there's still enough time for internal discussion to settle the matter, adding there remain other agenda items that the parties will have to discuss, such as the allocation of ministerial portfolios and the right person to fill various posts, including some outsiders who are to be invited to join the government. Meanwhile, the Thai Liberal Party leader has suggested that the Pracharat Party leader could be the House Speaker. So already an alternative there. I think there will be others to possibly diffuse that situation between the 2 leading coalition partners. Big thanks to 5 Star Marine. There is a special deal on offer to TNT viewers in the link in the description under this video. While you're there, please subscribe to the channel. Plenty more coming up next. This is the TNT program on a Monday, and whilst the rain gently falls outside, I'm nice and dry in here. Hope you're the same. And this is a feature article from the BKK Post over the weekend, which had some interesting ideas and perspectives. I've put a link in the description for this story. I think some of you might find it interesting if you'd like to read the entire article. I'm just going to go through some of the key paragraphs. And the article's entitled Industry Up in Smoke. And whilst I still want to bring you this news, I'm not going to mention the C word. I'm going to use the word broccoli. In fact, I saw a store the other day with the leaves, and it said broccoli on sale. I don't think they have to worry about YouTube censorship, but I do, so I'll be using that word broccoli during this description. Entrepreneurs say Move Forward Party broccoli policy puts their business at risk. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's just the game I have to play. The Memorandum of Understanding, signed by 8 prospective parties on forming a coalition government, could be bad news for advocates of the current free broccoli policy. Under the 23-point agreement, the Move Forward Party-led bloc has agreed to reinstate the plant as a narcotic drug under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Public Health and passed new laws supporting just certain beneficial uses while regulating all other use, cultivation, import and export of the plant. And the move marks a reversal of the broccoli policy, which has become decisive and politicised due to the absence of an umbrella law to govern its use, despite the introduction of regulation to prevent abuse, particularly by children. And with the sale of broccoli products spreading and a new industry flourishing in recent months, the prospective government will find it tough revoking the policy without stirring the pot amongst broccoli enthusiasts. I know, bear with me. Now, the 8 parties in the coalition have already made it quite clear what they're going to do. A worse situation for the supporters of broccoli would be if the Conservative parties get into a coalition, if some other alternative coalition is formed, because I think you would see a much more severe rollback than what the eight-party coalition has so far suggested. The proposed relisting will allow authorities to work fully to control the abuse, according to a Police Major General, a former List MP. He said the absence of a specific law has caused loopholes, which prompted the Public Health Ministry to put the herb on the list of controlled herbs under the Thai Traditional Medicine Protection and Promotion Act. And the Police General says broccoli buds are illegal while other parts can be used, but its use is way too liberal. Shops are popping up everywhere. This is against the objective, so many people want to recriminalise the plant. Now, speaking to that, over the weekend I spoke to somebody from the Public Health Ministry in Phuket. I'm not allowed to mention the person's name, but he revealed to me that there have been 1,520 licences for retail shops issued in Phuket alone, and that 1,350 of those shops actually opened, but over the past 6 or 7 months, about half of those have closed. So I thought that was an interesting statistic. And then back to the Police Major General, he said people are not opposed to medical use of broccoli, and it's better to issue clear-cut regulations supporting its beneficial use rather than legalising the plant. In his view, broccoli shops should not be allowed to open freely. He said it must be supervised by doctors, and broccoli-based products should face tighter regulations. Now to the views of a member of the Pumjai Thai party that successfully pushed for broccoli delisting and campaigned on the issue in the 2019 polls, but he was confident the bill pending House scrutiny will address such concerns. He said the value of broccoli-based products is estimated to be 40 to 50 billion baht, so it's best for all parties concerned to push for enactment of a law that allows cultivation for medical purposes and economic benefits. He said the best way forward is to get the bill passed. If there are flaws, address them. Make it complete. People will soon start questioning why the Move Forward party wants to break up a monopoly while they're leaving untouched alcohol, which has no benefits. It looks like hypocrisy to them. I never feel that this argument is very strong. I think that's an argument for a different forum, comparing the different values of various drugs, some illicit, some not. Comparing this herb to, say, cigarettes and alcohol, when they've both got different histories and different legislations, I don't think really is going to do much to move the argument forward. An owner of a broccoli shop in Bangkok's Sukhumvit area says any reversal of the policy would spell disaster for his business and more than 2,000 others across the country. Well, as I've just revealed, I think the number is much more than that. Zoning of broccoli shops should be introduced to address concerns, he said, adding some shops do not understand the regulations, but said they are trying to comply as best they can. Meanwhile, the president of the Khao San Business Association said more than 40 broccoli-related operators are based in the area with initial investments of at least 1 million baht per business. The economic value of broccoli-related businesses is estimated at 30 million baht per month, while the value of other businesses are 600 million baht per month. Well, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just sort of trying to compare that narrative with the numbers that suggest that about half the shops that opened on the island of Phuket have now closed, apparently. He said the current policy has drawn foreign visitors to Thailand who want to sample it for recreational use and seek it as an alternative treatment for illness. And he disagreed with relisting broccoli and urged the new government and lawmakers to move towards better regulation instead. He said the next part is to issue a law for better control, not for declaring it as illegal. So quite a wide-ranging article. I've put a link in the description in today's program if you want to read that entire article, which covers different perspectives from different sides. And I'm sorry that I had to keep on using the word broccoli, but I do want to try and keep in good with YouTube. They set the rules. I might disagree with them, but there you go. Now, another interesting article over the weekend was published in the Pattaya Mail, referring to the future of Pattaya. And I've put a link in the description of this article as well. A Pattaya MP will campaign for a 24-hour party city. So no more closing times. You can keep your bar open all night. And the idea of Pattaya becoming a special zone with booze available 24/7, except for public holidays, has been invigorated by a Move Forward MP recently elected to serve Pattaya and parts of Banglamung. His party won the most seats in the national poll, blah, blah, blah. Jaras said at a post-election celebration that Pattaya was a party city, favoured by millions of foreign tourists every year. The 24/7 Pattaya campaign has a long history, according to the PattayaMail.com. It was suggested by the Tourist Association of Thailand in the aftermath of the 2010 street demonstrations in Bangkok, which closed international airports for several days in an attempt to boost new tourist arrivals in a privileged happy zone. The notion has cropped up again during the latter stages of the recent COVID crisis as a way of quickening the tourist revival in Pattaya. And according to one stakeholder, Pattaya clubs and bars are recouping their losses right now but need later hours in order to please customers and make a decent profit. This is from Kuntan, who manages several gin palaces in Walking Street and elsewhere. He stressed that the new generation of clubs catered for Russians, Chinese, Indians and South Koreans rather than Caucasians. Yet the chances of any government agreeing to prioritise Pattaya seems remote, and the article notes that the number of traditional fun-hungry European, American and Australian male tourists appears to be in significant decline. Immigration data shows that Thailand has welcomed around 10 million foreign tourists in 2023 so far, but the vast majority have been Indians, Chinese, Malaysians and Russians. Well, that's true. Another factor is that almost half the arrivals have been tourist women, a fact which erodes the quaint notion that Pattaya caters mainly to men on personal night owl crusades. These are the words of PattayaMail.com. Pattaya is changing, so says everyone. Several bar areas, for example in North Pattaya and along Beach and Second Roads, have been cleared by demolition to make way for five-star complexes or posh condominiums. Neo or New Pattaya may not have arrived yet, but it's on the cards. Pattaya entertainment can still mean go-go dancers and transvestite cabarets, but it also means golf courses, leisure, something or other to attract families with kids, five-star malls and luxurious hotels. And we'll finish with this paragraph. The traditional Pattaya market, the economy farang, still flourishes along Soi Buakhao, where the competition to find the best English breakfast for under 120 baht or a cold beer for 50 baht is still razor sharp. But the clientele are mainly male expats from the UK and continental Europe in their 60s, 70s and beyond. Visa shops in the area, which specialise in obtaining their one-year retirement extensions without hassle, appears to be worried that as these guys die, they're not being replaced. There's also concerns that if immigration rules were seriously tightened, for example by compulsory medical insurance, Soi Buakhao would become a ghost district. So again, I've put a link in the description under this video. That's quite a wide-ranging article. There's quite a lot of editorial in it, but I'd be very interested in your comments about how you think the Neo Pattaya is coming along and whether and when it's going to happen. TNT on a Monday morning, and glad to report that looks like the rain stopped for a little while, which is nice because I have to head out after this. And reporting from BangkokPost.com, car sales suffer amid uncertainty. Again, this is this twilight zone problem between the past government and the new government being formed. Car sales in Thailand are expected to continue a decline this month amid domestic political uncertainty about a new government and its policies. This from Toyota Motor Thailand. Domestic car sales in May are expected to decrease as people delay their car purchases. In April, domestic sales volume decreased by 6.1% year on year because of banks' strict criteria in screening loan requests amid high household debt. And that's according to the Federation of Thai Industries. During the first 4 months of this year, car sales dipped by 6.1%. Toyota Motors have reported a decline in domestic car sales by 9.8% year on year. Coming second was Isuzu with a market share of 22.4%, and they record a year on year drop of 19.6%. But Good news for third placed Honda, another Japanese car maker, reporting car sales increased by 25.5% year on year. They've currently got a market share of 10.8%. So I can't really think why Honda would be doing so well while the other two brands aren't doing as well. I can't even think of any particular models that would be shooting Honda ahead at the moment. Anyway, good news for the Honda salespeople. That's all I've got in today's TNT. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. Thank you for the good viewing numbers over the weekend. Please subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to doing it all again tomorrow.